100 years, Brigham Young University has been preparing students for successful careers and for successful lives. During that time, the university's athletic program has progressed to the point that it consistently ranks with the top 10 schools in the nation. A well-rounded and an exciting athletic program. An athletic program that has provided numerous sports thrills and that has developed many outstanding athletes. It is not our intent, nor could we do so, to show all of the BYU thrills. But we do invite you to sit back with us as we present for you many Cougar sports thrills, great moments in BYU sports. The win by the BYU Cougars in the 1981 Holiday Bowl ranks with one of the most amazing comebacks in the history of college football. The game started as if nothing could or would go right for the Cougars. The Mustangs scored quickly on first possession. Sophomore running back Eric Dickerson scampered for the touchdown, and it is 7-0. The Cougar offense stalls. They force Southern Methodist to punt, but instead a short snap goes to Craig James, who dashes for the sidelines and goes 45 yards for another TD. It is 14-0 for Southern Methodist, and it seems like everything that can go bad will go bad for the Cougars. And then the snap of a punt attempt sails over Clay Brown's head and right out of the end zone for a safety, and it's 16-0. This also sets up good field position for the Texas crew that eventually leads to a field goal. Then that combination that has done so well all year long clicks. Jim McMahon passes to Clay Brown, who makes a one-handed catch and outraces the SMU defenders for a 64-yard touchdown. The end of the first quarter, BYU trails SMU 19-7. The second quarter is a calmer one, with the Mustangs scoring 10 and the Cougars 6. The BYU defense starts to find itself, led by defensive player of the game Glenn Titensor. The Mustangs settle for a touchdown and a field goal in period number 2. Before quarter's end, the BYU defense forces a Mustang punt. It bounces once and then into the arms of Vai Sikahema, who dashes 83 yards for an exciting BYU score. The BYU two-point conversion fails, and BYU trails at halftime 29-13. Two plays at the end of the first half turn out to have an important bearing on the final score. Bill Shefflin just misses blocking a punt, but learns the way is open for a block. And on the final play of the first half, a pass is thrown incomplete, but All-American cornerback John Simmons falls and hurts his shoulder. He does not play in the second half, and Shefflin files away the information on blocking a punt and uses it later to help win the game. It's halftime. The shell-shocked Cougars trail by 16 points. They have not stopped the Mustang running game, nor has the BYU passing game been untracked. The Mustangs control play in the third quarter. They hang on to the ball for the first 6 minutes, and then Eric Dickerson dives in for a touchdown. It's 35-13 for Southern Methodist. BYU starts to chip away at the lead. They start to play their game. Phillips, a star of the contest, catches 1 of 10 receptions. Then McMahon adds a run, one of the plays that sets up another BYU touchdown. The TD comes on a pass to Clay Brown, and BYU narrows the lead again to 16 points, 35-19. The BYU defense is playing much better. Defensive end Titensor and linebacker Red provide key defensive plays, forcing the Mustangs to go for a field goal. The field goal is again good, and it ends the third quarter scoring. SMU 38 and BYU 19, and in Mustang land, it's happiness and joy at the start of quarter number 4 as the Mustangs smell bowl victory. The Cougars get the ball and start to move. The passing is crisp and effective. Phillips, Brown, Jones, Braga, Davis, Pettis, and Lane catch passes. BYU faces a 4th and short yardage at midfield. Time is called after the Cougars had lined up as if to punt. BYU reconsiders and goes for it. McMahon's pass to Brown is complete for the first down. Matt Braga typifies the BYU drive. He catches a tipped pass for a big gainer. Phillips hangs onto one on a hard hit. And then on 4th and 1, the Cougars make a big play. Lloyd Jones makes a catch at the goal line. 3 plays after this, Scott Phillips dives into the end zone for the score. With 4:07 left to play, BYU trails 38-25, and the effort for a 2-point conversion fails. The following attempt at an onside kick also fails, and SMU has the ball on the BYU 42. The momentum had seemed to have shifted to favor the Cougars, but then on the first play from scrimmage, Craig James runs for a 42-yard Mustang touchdown. It is now 45-25, and there's 3:57 left to play. The Cougars get the ball deep. McMahon scrambles for 14 yards. A couple of completed passes and a big gainer to Clay Brown down the sidelines. The TV announcers compliment Brown on a great game and a losing cause. McMahon then is forced to scramble. He throws off balance into the end zone, and Matt Braga makes a sensational diving catch. The official hesitates and then makes the touchdown call. The Cougars then miss their 4th 2-point conversion. BYU then executes a picture-perfect onside kick by Lee Johnson. John Ramage throws a key block. Homo and Shell fall on the ball, and BYU still has a chance. The score is 45-31. Pettis catches one for the Cougars. And then McMahon, again scrambling, hits Bill Davis down the sidelines for 40 yards and what appears to be a touchdown. But it's ruled out at the half-yard line. The Cougars set up a pass option play with Scott Phillips. He looks and then runs in for the touchdown. A 5-yard delay of game penalty against BYU, and the try for a 2-point conversion comes from the 7-yard line. McMahon passes to Phillips, and it's now SMU by only 6 points, 45-39. A minute 58 remaining. An onside kick does not work, but the defense does. 3 SMU running plays are stopped by Red, Titanser, Homo, and Shefflin. It is now punting time with 18 seconds left to play, and Shefflin blocks the punt. BYU has the ball with 13 seconds remaining. McMahon then drops back, passes to Brown. It's incomplete. And then to Jones, long down the sidelines. Too long, but close to a TD. Now just 3 seconds left to play. And now the play of the year for the BYU team. McMahon sends everyone deep for a final pass. He will drop straight back, throw the ball into the end zone over 60 yards. Clay Brown is in the end zone, and watch what happens. Brown wrestles it away from 3 SMU defenders. Davis, Lane, and Plater signal touchdown. The official then does the same thing. Brown caught it, and the score is tied. BYU had not had the lead during regulation play. It's up to Kurt Gunther to kick the extra point. It's snapped, Shefflin places it down, and Gunther kicks it right through the middle. Incredibly, BYU has won the Holiday Bowl by a score of 46-45. An unbelievable finish to an unbelievably exciting football game. The 12th straight win, the finale to a nationally ranked season. Brigham Young's win over Southern Methodist in the Holiday Bowl during the 1980-81 sports season has been called by many one of the most exciting football games ever played. But there have been many other sports thrills on the BYU football fields, including one that started the Cougars on the trail to national recognition. That game in Houston with the Texas A&M Aggies. 39 left to play in the football game. Brigham Young trailing by 7 points. Here's Wilson. 1st and 5 on the 15-yard line. He's back to throw, rolling out, throws, and it is caught at the 10-yard line. He got the pass away to Mike Lacey, his fullback, And it was caught on the 10-yard line. I think that'll be a first down.
It's close to a first down. It's just short of the 10-yard line required for the first. Mike Little and Doug Carr were both in on that tackle and in to bring Dave Lacey down.
It's the 9-yard line. They're bringing the chains all the way across to see if it is enough for the first down. It's between the 9 and 10-yard line. 17-10. What a finish.
2:30 left in the game.
Brigham Young opening up the college season against nationally ranked Texas A&M. It is a first down. Brigham Young University has a first and goal on about the 9.5-yard line of Texas A&M.
What are you calling, Jay?
Well, how about the old touchdown play?
Yeah, right.
The crowd, they're giving their the support to their team, but they're also quieter than we've heard them, Mel. First and goal on the 9.5-yard line. Mark Wilson ready, the team set. Big offensive play on first down. They give to Homer Jones, and Homer does not make much.
That's what I would have called. James Zachary in on the tackle. James Zachary, a left tackle for A&M.
Well, I guess the call could be that they were thinking A&M would be looking pass, so they go with run and gain maybe a half yard. 1:52 left to go in this game. A play coming in for BYU. Boy, you don't want to get called with delay of game. They got to get it moving. 1:43 to go. It is second and goal from the 9-yard line. BYU ready. They're set. And the snap, and it's Wilson looking to throw for the touchdown. And a pass interference call, I think, will be called because a BYU player was tripped as he went into the end zone.
I think that's number 88,
Bill Davis. That's right. As Davis tried to get into the end zone, he was tripped, and pass interference, at least a flag was thrown in the end zone. Let's wait and see how they call it. Here it is.
We'll see if we can see it here on the replay. Probably not if we're following the football.
Well, you see Davis down. Davis was down, flat on his back there. That would give BYU first and goal on the 1-yard line. And Mel, they may very well, that's the call, pass interference, have to make that decision of going for 1 point or 2 points. In the backfield, number 36, Eric Lane is in there. Number 45, Mike Lacey.
Lacey's the big fullback. Lacey's the one that can carry on a power play.
The snap, and Lacey does not make any yardage as number 51, Cal Pivito, hit him.
Cal Pivito did an excellent job of slipping underneath the man who was supposed to block him and tripping up.
The clock is running with 1:16 to go in this football game. And Brigham Young trying to get in and, well, win the football game.
Looks like it's back to the 3-yard line now. The Cougars have got the chance here. 1:04 left. They've got to get that ball in the end zone.
Second down and goal. Long count. Back to throw as Wilson throws. Touchdown! Touchdown. He completed the pass in the end zone for the touchdown to number 85, his tight end, Clay Brown. And Brigham Young University is now within 1 point of Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M 17, Brigham Young 16 with 52 seconds to play.
The all-important play in the ball game. That completion to Clay Brown. You can't really see Clay right there, but he is in the end zone with a defensive man holding onto his back.
This is a conversion attempt. If Brigham Young makes it, they have a 1 point lead. If they don't make it, they're down by 1 point. Ready. The snap. Wilson to throw for it. Did he catch it? He did! It's caught in the end zone for the 2 point conversion. A diving catch in the end zone by number 45, Mike Lacey. And BYU fans, believe it or not, the score with 52 seconds left to go in this football game is Brigham Young University 18, Texas A&M 17.
I don't believe it.
Look at that. Here it comes again. Watch this catch by Mike Lacey, who is a high school All-American, by the way, served an LDS mission, redshirted, and is now back playing. Shifted to offense. Here's the pass. It's a 2 point conversion, and look at Lacey dive. He had to stretch out to get it. 40 seconds left to go. Mosley to pass. Mosley may have to run. He's being chased outside. He will run the ball, and it goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. First down. Mosley back to throw. Mosley does throw and completes it to Carter. Will he get away? He might. They get him at the 38-yard line. with 23 seconds to play. Dave Francis pulled him down.
But that puts them in possible field goal range, and that means that Texas A&M could win this football game on a field goal, as you'll watch the
Mel
replay.
Mosley is hurt. Mosley's coming out of the game like he's had his wind knocked out. We have 23 seconds left to go in this game. First down on Brigham Young's 37-yard line with 23 seconds. Boy, had they moved downfield in a hurry. There's a pitch back to Dickey. Dickey trying to turn the corner.
He does turn it.
Gets the 32-yard line. But the clock is running now. They get it stopped by calling timeout. Mosley ready. Mosley dropping back to throw. Does swing one out in the flat to Brothers, and he's downed immediately. The clock, did they get it stopped? They did, with 9 seconds to go. A good tackle by Ed St. Pierre for BYU on Dave Brothers, the fullback. Well, they've got the field goal unit coming in.
And this is it.
He's going for the victory right here.
Tell you, I'd sure put a shoe on if I had to kick a ball that far.
Well, he's got to kick it 51 yards.
And of course, he uses the instep of his foot. He doesn't kick it on the toes, which you couldn't do. He has kicked over 60-yard field goals in practice, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The pressure is all on Hardy.
Wilson today, 16 out of 37, 163 yards. The kick is no good. It's way off to the left. So the kick was no good. There are 4 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. That means BYU gets the football out at the 41-yard line.
Coach Edwards said before this game that this is possibly one of the most important games BYU's ever played, and definitely the toughest team at BYU's ever played. And he was talking very positively.
What do you think some of the other WAC teams might think?
Well, I hope this frightens them a little bit, but I hope we don't get complacent, because they're going to be tough too.
Wilson simply falls on the ball, and the clock runs out, and Brigham Young University has scored an amazing upset victory. The final score tonight from Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas, is Brigham Young University 18, Texas A&M 17. Moving through the years to the present, fans would have to search long and hard to find a game more thrilling and with a more exciting finish than the 1983 BYU-Utah State game in Provo. All right, third down, and Brigham Young needs 11 yards. Young back to pass, has some time, fires it, complete. Pendleton gets away and gets to the 48-yard line. Good catch by Pendleton under pressure. Utah State University playing exceptionally well today. They're ahead of BYU by 3. And now the Cougars have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Pendleton going over to the right. Kozlowski and Haysbert both wide to the left. Now Haysbert comes back over to the right side, and they do a lot of shifting around. Young back to pass. Fires it. Nice jumping catch by Tiamalo, but he doesn't get out of bounds, and they don't get much yardage, so the clock's running. With 1:29 to go, BYU trying to get a play underway in a big hurry. 1:23, 2nd down and 6. Young trying to set up the play. Well, they don't get it underway. That happens so often when you're trying to do something that quickly, and BYU, illegal motion on the Cougars. Illegal procedure. Here's Haysbert bringing a play in for the Cougars. 1:09 left in the football game. They need a big play.
That really hurts you when you got a drive like that. A penalty is just so critical. You can't afford to make mistakes. Everything has to be precise. Everything has to go together in this drive for them to get down and score.
2nd down for Brigham Young. And 13 yards for the 1st down. Young will pass. Lots of time this time. Throwing it deep, and it is caught by Haysbert. Fine catch at the 20-yard line by Adam Haysbert under pressure. Now we have 50 seconds, and the Cougars only need 20 yards.
Looked like Haysbert collided with Glenn Kozlowski down there. Both of them had a shot at the ball.
Kozlowski's shaken up on the play. 1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Utah State 21-yard line. And we have 50 seconds left to play in the ball game.
Young has set up the play. Back to pass. Looking. He'll run it himself. He's down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, down to the 1-yard line. Steve Young ran it down to the 1-yard line. 36 seconds left to play. And the Cougars have first and goal.
Well, the crowd's
Hey, what a play by Steve Young.
It sure was. Young has such great quickness. Let's watch him here. Sprints up there, makes a nice cut to the outside, and picks up about 15 extra yards here.
First and goal for Brigham Young, and they send Wayman Hamilton in. First and goal on the 1-yard line. Brigham Young does have a timeout left. Everybody loading up the line. 21 seconds. Long count. Young with the ball himself. He's going to try for it. He made it. He scored. Brigham Young, Steve Young got in for the touchdown. Brigham Young has the lead, 37-34, with 11 seconds left to play.
It looked like there was no way he's going to get in there, but Steve spun back to the inside. Excellent second effort here. You see him, he's almost stopped here. He spins to the inside and dives to the end zone for the touchdown.
Hey, did Steve Young want to win this game? On the scoreboard, they're flashing the Heisman, the Heisman.
Cougar Aggie games seem to have a special aura about them, and the unexpected always seems to be there. Many world-class track athletes have performed at Brigham Young University, some of whom were the 1984 Olympic Games, and the BYU track team has always been a national contender. Cougar distance runner Doug Padilla provided a great BYU sports thrill in 1981 while running in the NCAA Indoor Track Championships.
Coleman has taken over the lead. Coleman in second place from Clemson. And now moving into second place is Doug Padilla. So it's as expected. It looks like it will be a two-man race between Padilla and Niam Bowie.
Well, they've picked up the pace considerably, so they're beginning to string out the athletes. So there's a five-man race now with Chris Fox running well back of the pack in sixth.
Well, if you want to get on the edge of your chairs, everybody, we have a half mile to go. 6:28 unofficially is the split. It's comfortable. It's going to be a sprinter's last half mile, and we're going to see some great fireworks here. Who has the raw speed? I really don't know on this one. But there goes, look at this. Padilla taking over early. This is a change in tactics that he's done before. This is really interesting. I'm very surprised at that move.
Padilla and Niam Bowie are starting to pull away from the pack.
And you should have seen the expression on Niam Bowie's face when Padilla went by him. Niam Bowie was really surprised, as if to say, what's going on?
I can't believe he tried it, Ralph. I just can't believe it. Now, he's running on the shoulder. Look at this.
And Niam Bowie tries to return the favor.
Oh, this is going to be a ding-dong last half mile, gang.
This is going to be a dogfight.
Here we go.
If he lets him by again. Now, if he keeps him on the outside and doesn't let him by with a superior speed, that's a good move. He's making Niam Bowie use up his energy, trying to go by him. He's making Niam Bowie run an extra 2 or 3 yards every lap. That's very smart. And Suleiman's not running a smart race right now. Niam Bowie is not running a smart race. He should either tuck behind him or go by him. Watch this straightaway again. Let's see who tries to go by whom. Oh, Suleiman, I can't believe you're not tucking in behind him. Listen to this crowd. They're going to be on their feet before it's through. They just threw in a 59.7 quarter mile. It's 4-minute mile pace here in a 2-mile race. Look at the stride and the speed and the confidence of a man who trains only 50 to 60 miles a week, Doug Padilla from Brigham Young University.
And they're lapping the field, and Suleiman still trying to get by. He's not going to get by. The track is too small.
I can't believe that he doesn't wait. Now it's all out. Look at them. They're not fooling around. Now, 1 to go. Look at this race. Here come the arms. Chris Fox should get out of the way.
They're on their feet at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, and Padilla just won't let them by.
It's all out. Look at the sprint. The arms are pumping and flowing. Watch this last turn in the straightaway. Who's got the speed? Here they come. Who's got it? It looks like Padilla. What a finish.
Padilla over Niam Bowie. Doug Padilla.
Fabulous last half mile. Unofficially 1 minute 58 seconds for the last half mile. Doug Padilla from Brigham Young University. Suleiman Niam Bowie. He defeats the Olympic silver medalist at 5,000 meters.
Padilla represented the United States in the 1984 Olympics in the 5,000 meters. Basketball has provided some great moments for the BYU sports fan. Conference championships, NIT titles, international tours, NCAA postseason tournaments. And in 1979, the Cougars won a WAC championship with an amazing come-from-behind win in San Diego, California.
BYU with the ball, down by 4 points, 93 to 89. They need to get a bucket in a hurry. Rooney with the ball to Durant. Durant in a couple of steps, lobs for Taylor. Taylor's stuff shot is good, and he was fouled. The foul is on Gwynn.
Great pass by Devin Durant that time, and Taylor laid it in the basket, was fouled in the process, and he's got a chance to pull within one. BYU has a chance to pull within 1 point. There you can see Taylor going up, and number 24, Gwynn, got him on the arm. The ball goes in. Taylor will be shooting one shot.
Looked like it was going to bounce back out, but it stayed in. We had paper cups thrown out of the crowd again after that call. Here's Taylor, has hit 4 straight free throws in the ball game and has 18 points. BYU down by 2. It's good by Alan Taylor. So the Cougars are back to within 1 point, and they put up a full court press. The Aztecs with the ball, gets back to Gwynn. 1:30 to go. San Diego leading by 1 point. Gwynn over the 10-second line. Double team, gets away. He's dribbling with 1:23, and San Diego leading by a point. Gets works towards the foul circle against Rooney. Now timeout is called by San Diego State. 1 minute 17 seconds left to go in a thriller, and the Cougars, who are down by, was it 6, are back to within 1.
They're back within 1, and I think they had a chance to maybe tie this game up if Rooney would have hit that other foul shot, but that's a big if. Both teams are playing exceptionally hard. We're down to the last minute, 17 seconds. The Aztecs want timeout. The score is 93 to 92. You couldn't ask for a better basketball game and a more exciting game. It's just great basketball.
Play back in. 1:17 to go. San Diego State leading by 1 point, 93-92. The Aztecs, who have shot exceptionally well. The pass comes into Malovic to Dodd, out in front to Gwynn. Gwynn working with the ball. Gwynn dribbling down the left sidelines. We're down to 1:10. That's Malovic. Malovic back to Gwynn. Gwynn comes out in front with 1:04 to go. The Aztecs ahead by a point. Gwynn down the left sidelines. A great game tonight. 2 fine basketball teams. Dodd to Gwynn, 56 seconds. He's at midcourt against Rooney. He goes down the left sidelines. Rooney covering him. We're down to 48 seconds. Gwynn dribbling out in front against Rooney. Down the left side to 43 seconds. A jump is called. Gwynn did not get rid of the ball in the allotted 5 seconds out in the pressure area. So it'll be Gwynn jumping against Rooney. Against Rooney. Gwynn is 5'11", and Rooney is 6'1".
Good effort on the part of Scott Rooney that time. Gwynn's a quick little guard, and Scotty stayed with him the whole time.
Here is a big jump ball in this game with 42 seconds left to play. Cougars down by a point. The tip is over to... No, it's stolen by Rooney. Out in front to Roberts. Roberts foul. It's knocked out of bounds. It is not a foul. Well, they fed it to Roberts, and a great effort by Dodd of San Diego State to catch up with Roberts and knock the ball out of bounds.
Super effort by Dodd that time. Dodd, he got the ball just as Fred was going to go up and knocked it out of bounds.
BYU with the ball. The inbounds pass comes into Ames. Ames back to Roberts. Roberts fall away shot. No good. Foul on the rebound. And it's called on BYU. A foul is called on BYU on the rebound. I guess it's on Devin Durant. And if so, that'll be the 5th foul on Durant, and the Cougars just missed a chance to take the lead. With 31 seconds left to go. The inbounds pass came into Ames, and he passed off, and the shot was missed. Durant was called with pushing on the rebound, and that is foul number 5 on Devin Durant. He fouls out of the game with 31 seconds to go. And here's an interesting note, Gifford. Devin Durant has not scored tonight.
He hasn't scored.
He didn't play too much in the second half with Steve Craig in there, but
Steve Craig's gone a little bit, but Devin Durant has fouled out of the game, and I think Steve Trumbo is going to come in for Durant.
And the free throw shooter is Steve Malovic. So Brigham Young University came down to within 1 point and had a shot and missed it. And now San Diego State will have Malovic at the line. He is 6 out of 7 as a foul shooter and is an 83% foul shooter. Steve Trumbull comes into the game for Brigham Young, replacing Durant, who fouled out. 93 to 92 the score. San Diego State leading, and if they win the game, then the game with Utah Saturday here will determine whether the Cougars win the championship outright. Wow, what a finish. A great ball game by both teams. Here's Malovic, who has 26 points. A pressure free throw for him. He's a senior, by the way. Malovic's shot is good. So the Aztecs increase the lead to 2, 94-92, with 31 seconds remaining. An exciting basketball game tonight at San Diego. Malovic ready again. The second shot is good. He made them both. So the Cougars now under a lot of pressure. They have to score in a hurry. Runia to Roberts. Roberts to Ainge. Ainge at the free throw line. Goes for the shot. It bounces up. No good. Trumbo tipped it in. Steve Trumbo tipped it in. And there's a foul in backcourt on Danny Ainge of BYU. The Cougars got a tip in from Trumbo with 18 seconds to go to make it a 1-point lead again.
Steve Trumbo did a great job in tipping that ball back into the basket, Jay. And one thing, Danny Ainge just did one of the smartest things a basketball player could do in this particular situation. As soon as that ball went in, he fouled number 24, Gwynn, but he made it so it wasn't an intentional foul. No time elapsed on the clock. Very smart play on the part of Danny Ainge. Now the pressure's on Gwynn to make the foul shot.
And he is 2 out of 2 as a free throw shooter, has 2 points in the game. The Aztecs are 19 out of 26. He missed. Roberts gets it to Ainge. Ainge down court to Runia. Runia working on the sidelines with 12 seconds. Runia over to Danny Ainge. Ainge to the baseline, and he is fouled by Gwynn. 7 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Danny Ainge was fouled by Tony Gwynn. Second foul on Gwynn, and Danny Ainge has a chance to give Brigham Young University the lead, but he'll be at the free throw line to do it. Danny has played the entire game on that injured knee, has scored 22 points. So here's the pressure shot by Danny Ainge, shooting 1-1.
What a game.
It's over the top and in. He almost missed it, but it bounced over the lip and dropped. So we have a tie game with 7 seconds to go. Ainge shooting the bonus shot. He made that one. San Diego State with the ball. Comes into Gwynn. Gwynn to the midcourt line. Gwynn fires from way outside. It's no good. Ainge has the ball. BYU wins the ball game. The Cougars have won the ball game. Brigham Young University 96. San Diego State 95.
That win clinched a WAC title for the Cougars and thrilled thousands of BYU fans in attendance at the game in San Diego. Brigham Young and Utah have staged many a basketball thriller, and in 1984, in overtime, Cougar guard Scott Sinek provided a BYU sports thrill.
Time, BYU with the ball with 56 seconds left to play.
A wild way to bring in your conference opener in it.
Sinek has on the outside. The Cougars might run it down and look for one last shot. Oh, they made a bad pass. It goes into backcourt. Springs has it. Springs scores. So Utah just stole one. The Utes have the lead by 2. The Cougars with the ball.
They'll stay in a zone defense now. The last time they were in a man-to-man.
37 seconds. Smith with it. Smith to Durant. Here's his shot. Off the rim, no good. Utah comes up with the ball. The Utes have it. They're ahead by 2 in overtime with 25 seconds to go. How about that? Angelo Robinson out to Hendricks. BYU coming out after him. Down to Winans. Winans out to Robinson. Down to Springs with 15 seconds. And a foul has been called on BYU. So Utah stole the ball, scored, and the Utes look like they have it. Foul called on BYU. Utah had 97-95 with 13 seconds left to play in overtime.
Springs to the line shooting 6%, and that was the man to foul right there.
Springs has the 2 big baskets here in overtime. The foul was on Applegate, his 3rd foul. Boy, if he makes this one, and he misses it. Applegate gets it to midcourt to Nichevich with 10 seconds. Nichevich down the sidelines to Durant with 7 seconds. He shoots, in, back out, no good. Tipped up, no good.
Up, Scotty, up.
Sinek puts it up, and it is good.
It's good.
Sinek put it in to tie it. 1 second left to go. Hey, what about that?
All right.
Scotty Sinek put it in for Brigham Young. Here's Sinek then. He is 2 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. 2 for 2. He's a good free throw shooter, 65% on the year. 1 second left. It's Brigham Young 97, Utah 97. Winans fouled out. He scored 28 points tonight.
Big free throw right here.
Boy, here it is. Here it is. It is in, back out, no good. Utah gets the ball and will go overtime again. Into Ditchovich. Ditchovich on the dribble in backcourt with 6 seconds. Up to the midcourt line. Lobs it to Smith. Smith throws it towards the basket. He hit the rim. About 6 feet the other side of the midcourt line. Final score, Brigham Young 113, Utah 105.
It was the second year in a row that BYU and Utah played an overtime thriller in Provo. That same year, 1984, BYU played one of the big names of collegiate sports in Provo, the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame. And it was a rough and tough and thrilling basketball game.
Over to the right side. Go to the baseline. I'll try the shot. It's no good. Free ball underneath. Marty Perry at Brigham Young comes up with the ball.
Get the ball to Durant. There it is.
He stops it. Marty Perry with the alley-oop lob to Devin Durant, and we have a 2-point ball game.
And that's a big basket because it gets the crowd back in the ball game and it gives BYU a little momentum. That's what they've got to do, Jay. We mentioned that earlier. They've got to get the ball to Devin Durant. He's been open on a couple occasions and they've missed him.
58-56. 5:50 to play. Notre Dame with the ball. Turnaround jumper, no good. Knocked away, and Notre Dame gets it. Looked like Applegate had the rebound. It was knocked away from him.
Yeah, that would have been a big possession right there.
They're up, the BYU team doing some cheerleading, trying to get the crowd to help them out now. Notre Dame ahead by 2 and with the ball. They have 5:28 left to play. You know, Notre Dame led most of the ball game in that famous Danny Ainge game a few years ago, and BYU came from behind right at the end, tied it and won it. Notre Dame with the basketball. Collision, nothing called. Both teams looking. Missed shot. Vucevic rebound.
The big rebound by Vucevic and a foul, Notre Dame.
Foul on Notre Dame in backcourt.
Be a 1-on-1. Vucevic would be at the line and had to have an opportunity to tie this ball game up.
The foul is on number 43, Rucker. That is his second foul. And Vucevic has had a tough time at the free throw line tonight. He's 0 for 5. And Brigham Young 8 of 13. They've made all the rest of them. He's missed his.
Just had to get a little more arch on his shot. I thought his last 2 shots were very, very flat.
Here it comes. Could tie it. Vucevic hits it.
Got to get the ball in the air. Here's the replay. Nice lob pass to Devin Durant. It goes down and jams it down.
Vucevic trying to tie the score. He does! Brigham Young has caught him. It's a new ball game with 5 minutes to play. 58-58.
Little full court pressure, BYU. Here's man-to-man.
The BYU team standing up in front of us. We'll have to follow it on the TV monitor, Tom. 58-58, Notre Dame with the ball. Fine comeback by the Cougars. Notre Dame. Oh, did they fumble it out of bounds? They did.
Yes, they did. Dribbled off on his foot. And again, that happens for one reason, and that's BYU's defense.
BYU with the basketball. Marty Perry comes down court. Perry over the midcourt line to Applegate. BYU in a passing game now.
It's a little time delay game. What they'll do is they'll hit the points at 1-4. They'll hit the wing, kind of rub off a little bit.
Applegate looking for Durant. He's not open. Now he is. He gets the ball, gets a screen, can't shoot. 3 men on him. Out in front to Sinek.
They'll bounce up again.
Vucevic. Now Marty Perry. Over to Sinek. Back to Applegate. Here's his shot. Good by Applegate. Brigham Young has the lead. 66-63 with 31 seconds to go. And Notre Dame has Ken Barlow at the line, a 6'10 sophomore. He hit 3 in a row and then missed one, has 9 points.
Now, if Barlow can hit these 2 free throws, then I'll look for Notre Dame to pick up and the full court pressure defense.
Here's Barlow at the line then to shoot 1-1. BYU ahead by 3. taking a lot of time. Big sigh. Here's the shot. Good. Right in there. Dead center. His 10th point. He gets a bonus shot. 66-64. Each team with a timeout remaining. Barlow's bonus shot is off to the right. No good. And Smith rebounds it for BYU. Over to Nichevich. Nichevich back to Smith.
Good judgment. Mike Smith had Devin Durant, but he used good judgment here. Bring it back. Let him handle the ball. Bring it down.
They get it to Nichevich. Nichevich down the sidelines to Sinek. Sinek dribbles into the middle. Lobs out to Smith with 12 seconds. Over to Nichevich, and Nichevich is fouled. So with 9 seconds to go, they foul Chris Nichevich.
And this Nichevich, he likes to be at the line at this time of the ball game, too. A lot of confidence, like you say. What's he shooting? 48 for 50 now?
48 for 52 would be now. 9 seconds left to play. Yusevich will come back in for BYU. And coming out will be Smith. The foul on Notre Dame was on Scott Hicks, his first foul of the game. So here's Nichevich to shoot 1-1. He's 6 for 6 tonight. BYU ahead by 2 with 9 seconds to play. Here it is. Good! He made it. Nichevich, the sophomore from California.
Does he have confidence up there?
Here's his bonus. Rolls in. It is good. 12 points for him. Notre Dame with the ball. They can let him shoot it now. Howard passes off. The shot is blocked by Devin Durant. Knocked out of bounds with 2 seconds left to go. Brigham Young 68, Notre Dame 64. And the Cougars, it looks like, have a big intersectional victory.
Over one of the real big heavyweights in college athletics.
It'll be a big win for the WAC, for that matter. Of course, earlier this year, UTEP beat Indiana, too. Here's Sluby. Sluby misses at the buzzer. And the final score is Brigham Young University 68 and Notre Dame University has 64.
Which leads us to one of the greatest sports thrills in the history of Brigham Young University. The BYU Cougars and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the NCAA playoffs in 1981.
In the closing, 1 minute and 17 seconds from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Bill O'Donnell with Jeff Mullins. And in the first 18-plus minutes of the second half, Notre Dame has shot 60%. Brigham Young has shot just over 52. And the jumpers will be Ruhlwirch and Sarlainen. Trumbo has it. And with a minute 14 to play, let's see if Brigham Young can go ahead. It's down by 1. It's trying to break Ainge free behind a screen of Trumbo. Dallas from 16. And Brigham Young is ahead. 49, 48. Dallas 15-foot jumper.
Greg Dallas has had a great second half, and he's given his team quite a lift.
The Cougars with 2 timeouts. Notre Dame won in the closing 52 seconds. Tripucka, Paxson, Sluby, Andre, and Woolridge against Ainge, Balif, Sarlainen, Trumbo, and Kite.
BYU in a 3-2 zone.
40 seconds to play. Digger Phelps crouching at the Notre Dame bench. Frank Arnold leaning forward, seated at the Brigham Young bench. 30 seconds to play. Notre Dame trails by 1. 25 seconds to play. Digger Phelps says, give us our last timeout. Again, Notre Dame is down by 1. 49-48 with 24 seconds. Andre just inside the timeline. 20 seconds to play.
BYU comes out in a man-to-man defense. Ainge on Paxson.
15 seconds to play. Notre Dame has to do something different. Sensational. Tripucka with 9 seconds. Notre Dame ahead by 1. And Brigham Young has 8 seconds to win the ball game.
Here's the shot. Paxton to Tripucka. They know where their bread is buttered. He goes to the baseline. Not a great look at the basket. Good defense by Balif, but nothing but net. Pressure shot. Tripucka 6 or 7 from the floor this half. 14 points. Now, Bill, we talked about the glamour players. Notre Dame went to Kelly Tripucka when they needed a basket. Will BYU BYU go to Ainge? I think they will if they can get the ball to him.
Well, they have to go to a guy, of course, who has been the backbone and the catalyst of their successful attack. Coming into this ball game, over the last 4 Brigham Young outings, Danny Ainge had scored 124 points. Tonight, in the first 20 minutes, he didn't get a field goal. He only had 2 free throws.
Credit Danny Ainge and something to look for. He has had a frustrating evening. Notre Dame has played tough defense, but many times when I thought in the second half he could have shot, he passed to his open teammates. Now, the defense is going to be keyed against Ainge. He's going to look for the shot, but if he doesn't get it, I think he'll get it to his open teammates, and it'll be up to one of them to hit the shot.
All right, still shaken up, and with a bruise to the side of his head, Tracy Jackson can knock him back in the ball game. Notre Dame's defense slides down to the opposite end of the floor, and there are 8 seconds to go. Ainge against Paxson. 5 seconds. Inside. Ainge scores with 2 seconds. 1 second on the clock. It is all over. It is all over. But it looked like Notre Dame was going to have Kelly Tripucka as the hero. The
What a
hero's
great
banner
drive
is
by-
lost by Notre Dame, and the hero's banner goes to Danny Ainge. Frank Arnold and Brigham Young have won this glamour game 51-50.
And Danny Ainge took that ball from one end of the floor, went between 3 Notre Dame players, once behind his back, laid it in up over Woolridge. What a great basketball play. Did not have a great game, but what a great play at the end.
All right, the horn has ended the game.
Thanks to great camera play, we're going to get a look at this last 8 seconds. Ainge, full speed. Here he goes behind his back, between 3 players, into the middle of the lane, changes direction, up over Woolridge. What a basketball play. Perhaps the highlight of the college basketball this year.
It's been a sports thrill for BYU fans to simply follow the BYU golf program and the BYU golfers of Coach Carl Tucker. Highly respected, very competitive, and with numerous team members now on the professional circuit. And the BYU golf program provided an all-time BYU sports thrill when it won a national championship in 1981.
In front by 1 shot at the start of today's round. But Oral Roberts has closed the gap from time to time throughout the day. Right now, BYU has gone back to a 1-shot lead. Houston just behind them in 3rd place. It's a 3-way horse race.
Landed in the bunker on his 2nd shot, but his 3rd shot marvelous out of that trap. And now putting for par. Keith Clearwater of BYU. BYU leading in the team scoring by 1 stroke. It's a big one. He got it.
Yes, that's a big one. Here at the Stanford Golf Club, Craig, they play sandies. That would be worth $1 to get it up and down out of the sand. That's
We've seen
they do that at Kapalua too, don't they?
There's a lot of pressure on these young men. They're not only playing for themselves, they're playing for their school as being one of 5 players, and it's tough.
Fair.
You make a mistake, and you've got 4 guys getting lefty.
And everybody's looking at you. That's a bogey 5.
Sure, right now these BYU players feel closer to each other than they
It's
ever.
in there.
There it is.
BYU.
Cougars, and they'll all come out on the green, and you don't want them to stay there too long. There's Carl Tucker, the coach, with the white hat on. Hugs all around.
Isn't that
Joey
great?
Rassett, a little distraught. The leader of the Oral Roberts team. Joey will just put his putter in his bag and move on to the next tournament.
BYU.
And here again, behind 18, Bob Murphy, along with Craig Williamson and John Mahegan. Out on the golf course at 18, Rick Walker. But with us right now, Coach Carl Tucker of the BYU Cougars. And Carl, we saw you play a number of tournaments this year. And back at Santa Cruz in the Western Intercollegiates, I thought you were playing very well, and I thought you had the best team that you've had in years.
Well, Bob, you were the first guy to give us the proper credit when they voted us #1, and I'm not sure we were #1 at that time. We thought we could be, and
it didn't count then.
No, but it's been such a struggle, and the kids have played good. The heat's been on. We've led from the 2nd day on. And I honestly can't tell you that there's not one thing I can say that would express my feelings of how I feel about winning this.
There have been some great moments for BYU baseball, as the Cougars have dominated the northern half of the Western Athletic Conference for many years, and many stars have started their baseball careers at BYU. In May of 1983, pitcher Scott Nielson broke an NCAA baseball record. winning more consecutive games than any pitcher in history. And he broke the record against BYU rival, the University of Utah.
And Marion, a little extra drama riding on this one, and the right arm of that young man out of the Manfred on the mound, Scott Nielson, going for a national record.
Yeah, can you imagine that? 24 straight wins over playing with 3 different teams and all these years. It's just fantastic.
If he wins today, he will win. It'll be his 24th consecutive pitching victory, which will break a record held by, well, he holds it now. He's tied with Earl Bass of South Carolina. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's bounced to second base. Ray, the Cougar second baseman, has a big bounce to throw. So the game underway very quickly, and the leadoff hitter, Mike Barnett, a .263 hitter for Utah, grounds out to second to Rob Ray. One man down.
Yeah, I might mention that's a very fine thing for Scott right now to have that first pitch and get that first out. I think that'll make him a lot more relaxed and ready to go.
Scott's not a real overpowering pitcher, but he does have an excellent walk-to-strikeout ratio. He doesn't walk very many batters. The hitter is Lance Pratt, the designated hitter, and he pops it up down the third base side to be out of play, down to the bullpen on the Utah side. Pitcher down the bullpen. So Pratt, designated hitter, left-handed hitter. He's a freshman from Salt Lake City, played at Granite High School. Quickly in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. In fact, when you look at Nielsen's record, in 85 innings, Marion, he's only walked 28 batters.
Well, that's remarkable. That's almost as remarkable as winning 24 in a row, 23 in a row.
0-2 pitch, fouled out of play. The Utah team has a lot of freshmen, sophomores. They're a younger team. BYU, a veteran team. A number of juniors and seniors on the squad. Nielsen's a senior. And then some good freshmen being worked in. There's a ground ball to first base. Joyner has it. Beats Nielsen, makes the play. 2 ground ball outs. And quickly, there are 2 men down.
Jay, that's a hard play to execute. You know that they have practiced on that many times. For a pitcher to be able to cover like that and make the throw, that's an outstanding play.
Joyner, of course, the young man at first base, with the bat and with the glove, is one of the best baseball players in college. He's a good one. Here's Larry MacArthur up for Utah. Looked like may have the bunted mind. Takes the pitch inside for ball. MacArthur, second baseman, and is batting .367. He's a pretty good hitter.
They have a good hitting team, Jay. I think they're about third, right? They're right behind BYU and Miami.
A strike called. MacArthur, a senior from Los Alamitos, California. He's one of the tri-captains on this Utah team. Takes one outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
I don't know what you two think, but Scott looks a little faster today to me than he has been this year.
Kind of overcast right now. The day, we've had sunshine, rain, clouds. It's cloudy right now. Breaking pitch hit to right center field and fairly deep. Right fielder Cooper going back. He's with it all the way and has it. Puts it away for the out. In right center. And so MacArthur flies out, and Nielsen has an easy inning. Nielsen ahead 10-0. If he wins the game, he sets an all-time NCAA record for consecutive pitching victories. Goes back to 79 when he got started in this. There's a foul ball. Served an LDS mission for a couple of years in Argentina. Says the only time he saw baseball, all the time he was in Argentina, was in a department store one day when he saw one in a store. Never even touched one.
Well, you know, it's fantastic to me that he did this when playing on 3 different teams, because that's what it is. It isn't like coming on this team and winning 22 straight this year.
You know the young man whose record he will break, Earl Bass. There's a ground ball to second, or to short, over to second for 1, throw to first. To Joyner, and they get the double play.
Jay, that's what I was talking about earlier, is that Snyder made the nice throw, but Ray had the courage to stay in there because that's a slow roller in the hole, and Snyder made the nice throw, and Ray had to be quick, but stayed in there on the double play.
Yeah. Tough hitter, Mike Dandos, too. Hits into the double play. We're just going to say that Bass, whose record he will break today, in 1975, he was 17-0. Long drive to center field. Going back is McCarty, back, and it's over his head, up against the fence. He'll get it back in and into second base. Standing up with a double is David Rise. Hit that one pretty well.
Boy, that double play was a big play.
Sure was. Now we have a man on second with 2 men out. And Mike Moore, the hitter. Moore singled, struck out, and lined out. He's 1 for 3.
Utah's hit the ball hard at times, but they haven't bunched them together, and that's the nice thing about what Scott's doing is he's not letting them get 2 or 3 in a row.
He's kept them scattered.
Right.
Raj, they had 1 hit off of him in the first 6 innings. That's the 4th hit off of him in the last 3. Maybe tiring a little. Strike. Curveball. Moore, right right-handed hitter, 277 batting average, the left fielder. Cougars to play Utah on Saturday, doubleheader in Salt Lake City. Third, strike two. Got away from Eldridge, but no advance by Rise.
Well, that was a good ball, a good breaking ball. Look at this crowd now. They wanted to put it away right now.
Scott Nielson won one of the Cougar Club Athlete of the Year awards this year. It was one of the scholar awards.
It was a scholarship award. He was an excellent student.
Curveball. Oh, it just did miss.
That could have been it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Once you know it, the sun's coming down, now the game's over.
Well, it's shining on Scott maybe here as he tries to wrap up a shutout and set that national record. Here's the pitch. Very close again.
Boy,
May have been the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Took a lot of guts to take that pitch. Too close.
2-2 to Mike Moore. 2 men out in the ninth. And the pitch. Little low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Maybe he's just adding a little bit to the
That's
draw.
what I was going to say. I think Scott's a little bit of an actor. He's got some ham in him. He wants to prolong this a little bit.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Mike Moore. And the pitch. With a curveball. Great shot. For Utah tonight, no run to hit. They leave a man, and Nielson has just set a national NCAA record, winning its 24th consecutive game, and not only that, in that entire streak, well, first it's his 19th complete game, but it's the first shutout.
Including bowl games, the BYU football team has won more games over the last 5 years than any major college in the nation, with the exception of Nebraska. And the Cougars and the Cornhuskers have identical records of 53 wins and 9 losses. BYU has led the nation in passing 6 times in the last 8 years, total offense 3 of the last 5 years, and the Cougars have scored more points in the last 5 years than any football team in the collegiate ranks. It's a great sports thrill simply watching the BYU football team play, as can be exhibited by the 1983 Holiday Bowl game. The 1983 Holiday Bowl matches Brigham Young University against a rugged team from the Midwest, the Missouri Tigers, a team promoted as a great defensive squad. The game was close, tight, and hard-fought from the opening kickoff, and the Tigers took advantage of an early interception to score first. The Cougars quickly bounced back, using the pass and the running of All-American Steve Young. They threaten, but the Tiger pressure defense forces another interception, only to be stopped by a very determined BYU defense. The Cougars struggle through the first half on offense, but great plays by the defense keep them in the game. A Casey Tiamalu run, a Steve Young quarterback scramble, and BYU has its first score. The score now tied 7-7. Another interception of Young on a tip gives Missouri excellent field position. But again, the Cougar defense slows them, and the Tigers settle for a field goal. A BYU interception stops a final first half drive. At halftime, BYU trails Missouri 10-7. Missouri claims the ball in a fumble in the third quarter, and once again the defense is tested. And on 3rd and goal from the 3, BYU recovers a fumble. With that, the Cougars change the game's momentum. Still down 10-7, the Cougars miss a field goal, but then another fumble recovery, and in one quick strike, BYU has the lead for the first time. It's a pass from Young to Stinnett, and from a 10-7 score, BYU now has the lead in the third quarter. Early in the fourth quarter, Missouri bounces back, moves to the BYU goal, pushes it in. The Tigers lead 17-14, and thus begins another BYU sports thrill. The exciting action of the fourth quarter of the 1983 Holiday Bowl.
Ray Monson and Orrin Olsen again at San Diego. Holiday Bowl, Missouri leading by 3 and threatening to score again. They have the ball deep in BYU territory. Stites at quarterback. Stites still with the football, and they met the option that time and dropped it. Bobby Salazar, Larry Hamilton for the Cougars. Also in on the stop was Todd Shell. By number 47. Superb job that time getting penetration. Fife had nowhere to go, couldn't hand it off, and had nowhere to run. They just locked him up tight. As the story in the game, BYU far dominant in passing and Missouri dominant in rushing. Missouri 2nd and 10 on the BYU 16-yard line. Cougar defense needs to stop him now and then put something on the board. Stites with the ball, looking to throw, throws right over the middle and completes it. A very quick pass over the middle, close to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Third down, and this play coming up might tell this football game. Because if the Cougars can stop them, they go for the field goal, then a touchdown could win. If they come close or get the first down and get a touchdown, it's going to be tough. For Missouri, third down and 4 on the BYU 10-yard line. Third and 4 on the 10. Here they come, splitting a man wide to the right, another to the left. Man in the slot on the left side. Starts with the ball, starts the option. No, he gives it up the left side. BYU, a lot of men there, stopped him, but how far is the forward momentum?
Barbosa, the ball carrier.
Barbosa was the ball carrier.
Shooting that made the tackle.
The Cougars with some good defensive action. BYU's Brandon Flint is hurt on the play. Brandon looks like he's hurt his right leg.
A lot of people hurt in this game. Adler for Missouri. Brad Smith, nose guard for BYU, went out with a neck injury. Now Flint with his knee. It's a very physical game down there, similar to the Utah State game when a number of players were hurt.
That was not a first down for Missouri. They have fourth down and 1. They also have not sent their kickers in. With 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in a football game, looks like they're going to go for the first down yardage. Brandon Flint hurt. He's out of the game. Here's the 4th and 1 call. Did he make it? BYU does not think he did. The Cougars say they stopped Eric Drain. Let's see if the officials agree. Depends on where it's marked down. Now Missouri thinks they made it. BYU still saying we did not. They're going to have to measure. It's that close. Both teams think that they came through. Brandon Flint is hurt and out of the game. He was replaced by Sean Knight, a freshman.
When it got to that tough yardage, look where they went. Right over to Goody's side, at number 76, their All-American tackle.
Hey, they stopped him. The BYU defense stopped him. So now it's up to the offense. The defense stopped him, and with 3 minutes and 57 seconds to play in this football game, BYU's got to go the length of the field to win it.
That's plenty of time if they can just get that passing game going. BYU has scored in lots less time than that.
We got to hand it to both defenses today.
Certainly do. That was a truly heroic stance down there with 2 of your key people out of the game to hold them on a 4th and 1.
BYU first and 10 on their own 6-yard line. They've started inside the 10-yard line a half dozen times in this game. Young will throw on first down. Completes it to Edo. Edo's out to the 24-yard line. Mike Edo making the catch and a big first down for BYU.
I believe that's Edo's first catch of the day, but what a big one it is.
BYU, plenty of time in the game. First down on the 24-yard line. Haysbert wide to the left. Kozlowski to the right for BYU. Young signaling something from the quarterback position. He's back to pass. They'll sack him this time. Bell got through to Steve Young.
That's that weak safety blitz again, coming from his blind side. Young did not see him.
That's the third time, as you pointed out, that he got to him.
Bobby Bell came into the game with 13 sacks for the season on similar plays. That's a big loss for BYU quarterback to the 10-yard line.
So the Cougars have 2nd and 21 back on the 11-yard line now, officially the 11. Time left, 2:53. BYU down by 3 points. Young to throw. He's chased out of the pocket, looking, goes way deep, has a man there. Edo catches it. Edo's to the 45-yard line. Edo got behind everybody, and Steve Young hit him.
The key to that, the blitz was on again. Steve Young was able to break away from the blitzing weak safety. He got free, and that gave Edo time to get down there. Edo with another big catch.
You saw Steve Young slip by a couple of men, and then he pumped it way downfield. So BYU with the opportunity. 2:40 left to play in the game, and now they've got some room where they can operate. They're on the Missouri 36-yard line.
They're actually getting close to field goal range, too, but I think Lavelle Edwards wants a victory, not a tie.
First and 10, BYU. Young with the ball, sprinting, looking, throws back the other way, screen. Harper with the ball. Harper will not gain very much. They tried to set the screen up, gained about 4. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play. The Cougars have 2 timeouts left. That play has been effective for BYU earlier in the season. They did pick up 4 yards, however, which is not bad. 2nd and 6 for the Cougars. 4-yard gain. They're on the Missouri 32-yard line. Young back to pass. Here's the pass, complete on the sideline. I don't know if he has the first down or not. I think so. Wayman Hamilton went out of bounds. That will stop the clock at 1:42 to play. That's just how they draw it up on the board. Hamilton gets over it just enough yardage for the first down. On the sideline, just steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Is Steve Young an All-American? Certainly he is. Consensus All-American. The best college football quarterback in the country this year. We really have to hand it to the defense, too, today. They have gotten the BYU Cougars out of a number of fixes today. 1st and 10, BYU on the Missouri 25. That's the draw, but they're watching for it. Casey Chiamalo is stopped. With 1:36, will BYU use a timeout now? The clock running with 1:30. BYU will call timeout. Missouri had an all-out. They're trying to get timeout. Now they get the clock stopped. The question that Lavelle Edwards might be facing in a few minutes, if it did end up being 4th down, would he go for the field goal and a tie, or would he go for a touchdown? You know, we're going to have the same kind of finish we've had in every Holiday Bowl but one. That's right, down to a final play to see who wins it. This will be probably the lowest scoring Holiday Bowl overall, but it's been an exciting one. Missouri, a very good defensive team. 2nd down play for the Cougars. Young looking to pass. Here swings it over to Chiamalo. Got by one man. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 18-yard line. Good run by Casey Chiamalo. The clock running with 1:13 to go. For BYU. 3rd down, they need less than a yard for a first down. Casey was actually caught from behind here. Excellent job. He's trying to outrun a lineman. Look at him get the collar there, but Casey made a nice pickup. 1 minute to go, now down to 53 seconds. Young back to pass, the rush is on. The ball pops free. Is that a fumble or a pass? BYU gets it anyway. Now BYU calls timeout. Big defensive play by Missouri. 37 seconds to play. Young didn't see him coming at him. Boy, that's happened a number of times coming from that blind side, that weak side safety. The running backs that time should have been there to pick him up, but they were going out in pass pattern. Good hit by Smith. It's going to come down to 4th and 10 for BYU at the 25-yard line with 37 seconds left to play in the game. And the Cougars called timeout. I think that would be their last timeout. Question is, do you go for the field goal or do you go for the touchdown? A lot of talk along the sidelines. Everybody trying to decide what to do. I don't think they're even considering field goal, Lauren. Here comes BYU back on the field. The Cougars face 4th and 10 on the Missouri 25-yard line. That shows a lot of heart. They want the victory. They don't want a tie. Missouri 17, Brigham Young 14. And the Cougars are down to what might be their last play of the year. Hey, watch this one. Football excitement. Young says, quiet down, crowd. Young signaling something from the line of scrimmage. He's back to pass. Here's the throw. It's caught. I think it's a first down. He hit Wayman Hamilton, and Wayman is knocked out of bounds, but he made the first down. With 31 seconds to go in the ballgame. Boy, what a lot of heart Lavelle Edwards showed that time. He could have very easily given up and said, let's go for the field goal or go for a tie, but no. He wanted the victory. He had confidence in Steve Young, his All-American quarterback, and Young came through. 1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Missouri 14-yard line, 31 seconds. But remember, time now. They've got to get the clock stopped. if they're tackled on the field, they might not get another play away. Running play, Stinnett to throw, throws it back to Young. Young catches the ball. They do score. They made it. BYU did it. What a play. They threw it to Stinnett. Stinnett threw it back to Young, and he broke tackles and got into the score. Now a flag is thrown, but it's after the score. The penalty is called because BYU is out on the field. That's a new rule this year, but the score does count. BYU is up now. What a tremendous play. Talk about the finish against Southern Methodist. BYU had the ball. Young passed to Stinnett, who threw it back to Young. It was almost picked off. After Young caught it, there were several players that had shots at him, but he got it into the end zone, just like he did against Utah State. That's right. Young showed why he's an All-American. He wanted to get in that goal line, and he was not going to let anyone stop him. What a tremendous athlete. What an exciting game. That'll be one they'll talk about for years. Here's the kick. The kick is good, and Brigham Young has the lead 21-17. What a finish this will be for BYU. It'll be the Cougars' 11th consecutive victory if they stop this play. Sights back to pass. The rush is on. He throws it way deep, and it is intercepted by Kyle Morrell, who runs it out of bounds, and Brigham Young wins the ball game. Devell Edwards, the Cougar coach, the final score in Holiday Bowl number 6. Brigham Young University 21. The University of Missouri had 17.
We hope you've enjoyed these great athletic moments of Brigham Young University, a school ranked regularly in our nation's top 10. A school with not only an exciting past, but with an even greater future. When it comes to great sports thrills, look to the Cougars of BYU.
Notre Dame's defense slides down to the opposite end of the floor, and there are 8 seconds to go.
Down by 6 now, 3 seconds left. 3rd and 10 at the SMU 41-yard line.
Ames against Paxson.
McMahon all the way back in his own 46.
5 seconds.
Receivers are there, defenders are there.
Inside. Ames scores.
Touchdown! The Heroes